Clarity Act Countdown. It is on, folks. 4 weeks to go, 20 working days. And you know how slow they move in DC, the DC dance, as we call it. And unfortunately, we have it popping off again in the Middle East over the weekend. And so we're watching the market react to that. A little bit of pullback in stocks and crypto over the past 24 hours as we respond to the Strait of Hormuz being shut down. We have another strait where there's some action taking place too. We're going to show you that. And all of this while we try to figure out getting the Clarity Act done in the United States of America. But make no mistake, progress is being made by Ripple in the XRP ecosystem. And we find a few other ecosystems and projects here in crypto that are worth our time and potentially worth our investment as well too. So let's break it down. These bottoms of the cycles come and go, and we like to take advantage of them. That's what we're doing right now. And right now, we're getting a pullback because it's popping off again. Senior Houthi official announces that the Bab al-Mandab will also be closed like the Strait of Hormuz. This is another strait that the Houthis, well, they're trying to get involved here. Oil prices will rise to $200 per barrel per press TV. So we're already reacting to the Strait of Hormuz being closed again over the past 24 hours. And this week, it's going to be full of economic data, a push for the Clarity Act, and now war is back on. So we're already watching the markets react to the Strait of Hormuz closure. It's not good. June CPI data coming in tomorrow, PPI on Wednesday, and retail sales data on Thursday, with the July Philly Fed Manufacturing Index coming on Thursday, the July Michigan inflation expectations data on Friday, and the Michigan consumer sentiment data on Friday, and that's already been at its lowest levels ever recorded. It's not pretty out here. And 10% of the S&P 500 companies will be reporting this week as well. This is one that you're going to want to stick around for, so make sure you guys have subscribed. Hit that notification bell. These markets are moving quickly, and a lot of people are going to get caught off sides. Kospi, this is the big Korean index, has triggered more circuit breakers in the last 7 months than in the 28 years since the system was introduced in 1998. And this is why I say these markets are fake. You don't have real price discovery. You don't have real free trading of these markets. If it gets too bad, we pull the plug, hit the circuit breaker, and we do it more times in the past 7 months than we have in the past 28 years. And just because this is happening in Korea, do not think that this doesn't impact us over here. We're going to show you Japan as well. Now, we've hit 7 circuit breakers this year, 6 total through the dot-com 2008 and the 2020 bubble, and we've already surpassed that in the first half this year, essentially. Samsung and the SK Hynix are half the index. Korea isn't a stock market anymore. It's a leveraged bet on money. It's unwinding quickly. Retail Kospi investors bought everything foreign investors had to sell. But the retail party is ending, with retail margin calls soaring, hitting 5% last Friday, and on Monday it will be far higher. Finally, retail brokerage deposits plunged by 30 trillion won to lowest level since February of 2020. And this is happening as the carry trade's unwinding as well. Let's take you to the chart. We got a big drawdown on Friday. Markets pumped back up. It's okay going into the weekend. I took my family camping. I said, let's go have some fun. We had a great, fantastic weekend. I come back, everything's unraveling again. With the USD JPY pairing back up to 162.43, it is getting scary out there. And that's why I think it's just as important for me to bring you the opportunities as to sound the alarm. And sometimes most of the time, people don't want to hear it. People don't want to be told that, no, investing in the SpaceX IPO might be a little dangerous. And there's, they have a story, they have a narrative. But this is what we are warning. SpaceX just hit a new all-time low of $137 per share after crashing 5% today. That's 1.15 trillion. Has now been wiped out from its market cap in the last 17 trading sessions. And this, by the way, is another perfect example of my market cap multiplier, right? The market cap on SpaceX lost 1.15 trillion. Did investors, were they able to pull 1.15 trillion cash out of SpaceX? Oh gosh, no, not even close. Right? If you look at the real outflows, I don't have the number in front of me, But I can tell you, as a matter of fact, unequivocally, that it's not 1.15 trillion cash that investors were able to cash out. There were some people that pulled out, right? And it's far less than that 1.15 trillion number. Once again, showing you that this market cap multiplier works on stocks, it works on crypto, and that market cap multiplier gets even bigger on cryptos with smaller float and less liquidity. In SpaceX, boy, this is a setup that we warned about, and sure enough, we're down to basically the IPO price, and we've wiped out over $1 trillion of the market cap over there on SpaceX. That was one that we said watch out for, and I'm glad that we did. Let me know, anybody that invested in SpaceX, you still holding? Did you get out? You doubling down? Let me know what the move is on that one. Donald Trump, our president, President Trump, coming in here in honor of Senator Lindsey Graham, who did pass over the weekend. A big supporter, the U.S. Senate should pass the Clarity Act. China and many other countries would like to take complete and total control of this major financial happening, as well as AI, where we are now leading, but where they are fighting hard. Don't let China win on either subject. President Donald J. Trump sending the message with the executive director from the White House, Patrick Witt, who I did get the privilege of listening to speak at the Ripple Swell conference, where he said this market's going to a $10 trillion market in very short order. Critical week for Clarity, which also happens to be the 1-year anniversary of Genius, a reminder of the incredible amount of hard work that has gone into this bill, but also of the time we've already lost. We cannot afford to delay any longer. Let's go get the scoop from Eleanor Terrett. Here's her Crypto in America blog post that she puts out, or I guess it's more of a newsletter. What we know right now is that we're back in session. And one of the biggest question marks is the final status of the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act. This is the part of the bill which would clarify that non-custodial software developers should not be treated as money transmitters for publishing code. It's still unclear whether the provision will remain in the form advanced by the Senate Banking Committee in May, or whether it will be revised in an effort to address concerns from law enforcement groups. That is a hot load of BS, by the way, as most of the pushback is. But I just have to insert my commentary there because it's absolute BS. It's an absolute joke. But by extension, the Democratic senators who support could hinge on those changes. So we'll be watching that. And then the biggest one right now is ethics. Everybody's worried. President Trump, him and the family made over $1 billion. Everybody's upset about it. And so they want to make sure that ethics gets included in the bill. And that's what we're watching for, as now it gets even more complicated with the death of Senator Lindsey Graham and the continued absence of Mitch McConnell. Where, oh, where is Mitch? Where, oh, where? I think of Bear in the Big Blue House. Where, oh, where is Shadow? Listen to these shows with my kids. Where the heck is Mitch McConnell? Where are all these guys? I mean, are they alive? Are they on break? What's going on? This is how we're represented in America today. And I'm just going to, interject a little commentary. I think it's pathetic. I'm just going to say I think it's pathetic. I think it's an absolute joke. We got to fix this ASAP. I mean, we got guys who literally, I don't even think know how to use a phone, and they're drafting legislation for this technology. It's probably not best. Okay. But that's why this is such a complicated matter right now, is we have 20 days. This is day 20 of the 20-day countdown till the August 7th recess. And if we don't get the Clarity Act done, if we can't figure out where Mitch McConnell's at, we lost the vote with Lindsey Graham. This is getting more complicated. And the political pandering of the ethics concern continues to be the main issue. So all of this brings us into a moment in time where we're battling a war, we're battling inflation. The economic data that comes out this week I don't think is going to be pretty. And on top of that, we got to finish negotiations here on the Clarity Act. So it's going to be a busy week. But like I said, all of this going on, focus on the projects, the ecosystems, and the companies that are still building and shipping and delivering. That's where your opportunity's at. And you already know where we're going with it. You already know who's there. The UK has the capital markets depth and regulatory credibility to be a global leader in tokenized wholesale markets, delivering up to $33 billion in annual economic output by 2035. That's why we are proud to support HM Treasury's Wholesale Digital Markets Task Force and today's new strategy to scale tokenization in the UK. This is Ripple, bringing on-chain funds, bonds, and repo markets, bringing those on-chain. They're already happening, delivering on-chain financial instruments that are cheaper, better, and faster than their legacy equivalents. Ripple is going to be a part of that working group as well. So whether it's the UK, whether it's the United States, whether it's the DTCC, Ripple is there. The only place that Ripple hasn't showed up is Swift. But why would Ripple care to help them update their messaging anyways? Right? It's just irrelevant. Irrelevant, some of these groups and the current flow of messaging and payments. We've just already replaced it. We've been doing it for 14 years. So I never really cared to see Ripple involved with helping Swift, holding their hand while they update their messaging. That doesn't solve anything. What we need is updating the messaging to ISO 222 compliant with settlement on the back end that's also faster, cheaper, and more efficient. Ripple working with the UK there, and that is the effort over there in the UK, combined with Europe, combined with what we've seen in Africa, in Asia. And as we move on over to Japan, this account right here on X that's been putting out some interesting posts, a yen-dominated stablecoin will be introduced, and it will also be permitted to provide yield. Okay, this gets interesting. At the same time, Evernorth comes out with their new Evernorth Japanese account. Japan believed in XRP early on. Together, we will build from here. In this account, we will analyze market movements from our unique perspective and deliver professional content in an easy-to-understand way. We will not discuss prices. We look forward to your continued support. And this is really what we've tried to lead with as well, too. Focus on the utility. Focus on education on the technology and real-world utility. Prices, though, is what brings in attention. And the prices right now are bad. The market is down, as you're well aware of. And I just reposted, excuse me, on TikTok. I was looking on my TikTok this morning, going to post, and I had a little memory, right? And I love looking back on old posts, especially from past cycles, because you learn so much. What was I right on? What was I wrong on? Everybody that's invested in the space should do this yourself. Look at your sentiment. Look at the news that you were watching. Look at the YouTube videos you were watching. Look at, your thoughts, your emotions, your investment decisions, your trades. Where was it at during the bottom of the last cycle? Where was it at during the top of the last cycle? You should be learning from that. Right? If you're still operating from the same structure and process of assuming that we're still in a 2025 bull run, and I mean, this has a lot of people caught off guard here. And the point that I'm trying to get at here is I reposted a video, and it was me doing a little TikTok compilation where it was me reacting to a video of a bunch of crypto influencers and a lot of ones that I'm not too favorable of. I have much more that I could say, but I'm not going to. It's a compilation of all of them saying the same messaging with dramatic music. There's almost a tear rolling down their eye. I sold off all of my crypto. This is it. I'm fully out of crypto. And it was a compilation of one crappy influencer after another crappy influencer, of another pump and dump scammy influencer, of another influencer who told you not to buy XRP, of another influencer who was caught running a Ponzi scheme and a fraud. One after another. And this was recorded in November of 2022 of them saying that they'd sold off their entire bag. And now we get the same thing during the bottom of the cycle. Sailor Strategies selling off Bitcoin. Other influencers are telling you the biggest Ethereum influencer sold off his entire bag of Ethereum. You see the same thing time and time again. When it's the best time to buy, November of 2022, when Bitcoin bottomed out and a lot of altcoins were near their bottom, and you get these crappy influencers telling you the worst advice, that they'd sold off their entire positions and that it's time for you to get out of crypto too, when it was in fact the best time to buy. Best time to buy, right? And they come in here and they tell you at the top of the 2025 cycle that they're buying Bitcoin while it's at 120,000, right? And they give you the absolute worst advice at the bottom of these cycles and the top of these cycles, and it's because they're not based in fundamentals. When you're based in fundamentals like we are, we stay consistent. Are we going to time the markets perfectly? No, gosh, no, we don't try to. We don't try to. We don't have to because we have enough margin. When you have enough margin, you're going to win. And so you don't need to buy the absolute bottom. Just get within that range of the bottom. You don't need to sell during the absolute top. Just sell during the top of that range. And that margin, that gap in between is your opportunity. I'm taking advantage of it right now. I just checked to make sure I got more buy orders set. I updated the Discord group, letting them know where my buy orders are sitting on XLM right now. And I also got buy orders sitting on iTrust Capital. They are my sponsor, and I'm very happy to work with them because they allow our community to get access to precious metals and cryptocurrency in a tax-advantaged or even a tax-free way if you use their Roth IRA product, or they have the traditional IRA product for your retirement funds to get you access to the assets we love most, cryptocurrency, precious metals, and guess what? I just heard from them last week. The stocks and ETFs are coming in August as well, too. I'm going to be having their CEO, Kevin Maloney, on for an interview at the end of this month. So if you have any questions for iTrust Capital CEO, drop them in the comments down below. But you guys should check them out. I just created a premium custody account for that free institutional grade custody. And we also have the Treasury account from them as well for your business, your trust, your nonprofit. And take advantage of the $100 funding bonus that they're running right now. When you use my link, get your account funded with either $1,000 US or $1,000 worth of crypto. They're going to pad that with an extra $100 funding bonus. So use my link down below. Take advantage of that special. Take advantage of free institutional grade custody with US-based customer support. If you need to get on the phone with somebody, they will pick up. Unmatched experience. We love their service. And I encourage you guys to double check that your buy orders are placed right now so that you can take advantage of the bottom of this bear market cycle between now and October, between now and the midterm election. It's going to be bumpy. It already is a little bit bloody, but we're buying. We're buying. We're going to continue because it's all backed by fundamentals. Let me know in the comments down below what you're buying, where your buy orders are at, and together, let's take advantage of this opportunity. If you appreciate our content and staying consistent during the bear markets when it's not easy, but we continue to show up, I hope you appreciate it. If you do, smack it, tap it, share it out far and wide. And if you're new here, make sure you have subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. Now, I got another video right here if you guys want to keep on watching my content, and the subscribe button's right here for you. God bless you all. We'll see you in the next one.